Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and my friends. It's Project L news time, and Project L news time doesn't come around too often, so I'm very excited to tell you what's happening today. So it looks like this is our first of our two promised updates for this year, so coming out just a little bit ahead of EVO, and let's just say some of the big news right out the bat, right? Let's not sugarcoat it. Project L will be a free-to-play fighting game. Some people speculated it. For me, it was really never in doubt, honestly. Riot does free-to-play. That's what they do. But regardless of whatever you thought was going to happen, it is indeed a free-to-play fighting game. In his own words, Tom Cannon has said exactly this. One of our goals is to remove as many barriers as possible from you enjoying Project L. We want you to be able to play no matter where you live, what your skill level is, or how much money you have to spend on the game. To that, I'm happy to confirm that Project L will be free to play. If you played a Riot game before, this probably won't come as a surprise. Our team is made up of fighting game veterans and folks who are passionate about serving the fighting game community, and we operate with one approach. If we wouldn't like it, we won't do it. When it comes to monetization, we promise to be respectful of both your time and your wallet. And you know, hey, free-to-play games sometimes, they are not respectful of both your time and your wallet, right? So it's going to be quite a while before we figure out exactly, what's going to be what in terms of monetization, but still, there you go, free-to-play. Also, Illaoi has been confirmed as one of the characters coming to Project L. This is a character personally I am very excited for. I never thought in a million years she would be able to make it because, compared to the more popular characters, Illaoi just isn't one of the more popular characters. So for me, this is great news. This is, we'll talk about it in its own section. I'm just very excited. So before we get to Illaoi Talk, let's just talk some of the stuff that's in the little video clip we have here and just some of the things Tom mentioned. So in our very first shot here, we see someone playing on a hitbox style device. And well, it doesn't actually mean anything, but I'm sure someone will try to say, oh, it's optimized for hitbox, going to ruin the game or something. I don't know. You know those kind of people, right? So I just want to point it out. We got a few little gameplay clips. One of them here is Ari, and it looks like it's a fake cross-up setup. So she jumps forward, but Darius gets hit same side by whatever the orb explosion is. So Ari probably the gimmick rushdown character. I expected as much, honestly, but seems to be a little bit more proof pointing towards exactly that. Another small gameplay clip here for Ari, just seeing how she just kind of works in motion. And just a lot of aerial-based combos launching you up, dunking you down. So if you like that highly stylized character, then Ari's definitely going to be probably the one for you. And also, just a little showcase of some of the people working on the game. Who could this possibly be? If you don't know, I suggest you Google it. Now, let's talk Illaoi. So Illaoi, there's no gameplay footage, I'm sorry. This is what it is. We got some concept art. That's about the best we can do right now. But yeah, Illaoi will be in the game. I am very excited. She's one of my favorite characters in the League of Legends universe. And once again, she's not very popular. So I never thought she'd make it into the game, but turns out she did. So man, that's awesome. If you are unaware who Illaoi is, I'll give you a quick rundown. Think of her like a cleric or a warrior priestess. And her god is Nagakaboros. And who is Nagakaboros? Well, think Cthulhu, but less evil destroyer that is not dead, which can eternal lie, and more like your sports coach cheering you on. Because despite appearances, Nagakaboros is actually a benevolent god. Nagakaboros, despite being an eldritch elder god from the oceans, wants you to live your life to your maximum. Never look back, always follow your desires, just live life to its fullest. The only things Nagakaboros hates are people who just basically are content and will never progress in life, and people are too scared to move forward. Illaoi is basically an embodiment of that will. She's just traveling around the world, living life, and also bringing out the best in everyone else around her. Now, they put out a big development diary style blog post for Illaoi and just how she came to be in Project L. I'm not going to read out everything here as it's quite long, but I do want to just point out some salient points here, specifically about her design process. So their goals in making Illaoi. 1. Illaoi fights alongside her god. Nagakaboros is a constant looming threat that Illaoi feels supported by and opponents fear. 2. Slow, but always in motion. Illaoi is always moving, and she punches those who are motionless. This is one of the key beliefs of her god, and we wanted to represent this through her gameplay. Overwhelming pressure. Once Illaoi puts the opponent in a position where they get hit or need to block, she is relentless, forcing the opponent to make a move on her terms. I like that a lot, by the way. The guardrails, like the concepts of the character. Illaoi is the powerhouse. Nagakaboros has her back. Illaoi's physical strength is the main source of her power, and the tentacles from her god are there to assist, but not replace. Nagakaboros is not the star of the show. Illaoi is the star of the show. So, the cleric is the main event, not the god. Simple and straightforward. Illaoi's power fantasy comes from the heavy, semi-short hits, heavy, long hits, and simultaneous staggered hits from the tentacles, but not from the complexity of managing the state of many entities. Not a puppet character. Illaoi shouldn't feel like she's ordering around her god. She can control the tentacles from her totem. However, any independently spawned tentacles should feel like gifts, not privileges. Illaoi does not get to spam these without earning them. Not a zoner. Illaoi doesn't want to keep the opponent away with tentacle hits. She wants to create openings that allow her to leap in and deal damage herself. So she's just not a puppet character. They just really want to stress that. When it comes to what archetype I'd use to describe Illaoi, it would probably be a big body juggernaut, and I'm a very big fan of that. An overwhelming battering ram who has the power of a god behind her. Illaoi is a heavy hitter who dominates when it's her turn in the mid-range and destroys her enemies with immense pressure. If you're confused about the tentacle stuff, one of the core conceits of Illaoi in either League of Legends or, say, in Runeterra, the card game, is she spawns tentacles, like basically apparatuses of her faith that slap you in the face, right? So she can do all sorts of stuff. She has her giant, like, bronze ball she can use to cave your skull in, or summon tentacles and Nagakaboros will just slap you around quite a fair bit. And in the design doc, they're making it very clear that the tentacles are a bonus. They're not like the main event. This isn't like Zato controlling Eddie, like you're controlling like a puppet tentacle or anything. They're just there on the side. They spawn as a bonus for you, but it's not the whole conceit of the character you're playing around. I am very, very interested in seeing how she'll work in motion and how all the tentacles work with the gameplay and just the moves. She better be huge and better smack you around like you're a small child's toy. And that is the info we have for now. So they promised us 2 updates this year, and yes, this does count as one of those 2 updates. Not a lot of info, but it's better than the, 0 we've been getting since November, man. Oh my god, it's been a while, eh? But yeah, so we do have at least one more update this year. Since they put this ahead of EVO, I'm assuming that there probably won't be an EVO announcement directly. But between now and before the year is up, we'll get at least one more, and we'll see how that goes. And of course, naturally, when the time comes, we'll cover it here on the channel. That all said, well, that's the end of the video. There's ain't no more. And we probably have to wait months and months for something else. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and whenever it comes out, because God knows when, go out and play some Project L.